Karen, and on today's podcast, I have my friend Vladimir. He is a writer, so I'm going to kind of dive into it and ask him some questions about his writing. My first question for you, Vladimir, is how did you find time to write?
Hello. As you know, I write when I have my spare time. Yes, and when my day is off, and I just make it for fun, and mostly I would write in some application. For example, I downloaded long time ago. I downloaded an Microsoft Word on my phone, and started doing it online. But before, I did it with handwriting because I romanticized that moment. But now I doing it mostly online, and I can do it in the bus, or if I walking, and I doing it same. I do it at the same time when I'm walking, or when I get home, get work by bus, and mostly I don't have particular time for writing now. I just doing it when I just wish it.
Whenever you have free time.
Yes, or free time, or when I have wish to do it. And
yeah, that's nice.
Yes, and so sorry people who will be watch us, because we had some issues with recording, but we managed it with my phone, and I hope you will enjoy it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we did have some technical issues, so I'm having him record us this time. Normally I'm the one recording, so, but I am the same way about when I find, sorry, when I find time, when I find time to write, I'm the same way, just kind of writing whenever anything kind of pops in my head. So I agree with that, whenever I have any spare time. My next question for you is, what is the best time of day for you to write? I feel like you kind of already hit on that a little bit, just whenever you're on a bus or just whenever you have time. But do you have any more you would like to add to that question? Of what is the best time of day for you to write?
What is my best? I like to write some stories closer to the evening, because evening time it's very quiet and dark outside, and I just enjoy it. Sorry, because I like to listen some metal music or doom metal music, and I just writing and listen music at the same time. Yes, and closer to the dark time, it's better time for me than daytime. Yes.
Yeah, that does make sense. For me, I kind of just do it during the day. I don't know. I'm never up really that late, so I don't know. But my next question is, how do you know what to write?
It's very weird. It's very weird moment in my writing, because I don't have particular plot or particular scenario before I start writing. It just I just doing it very spontaneous, and characters and communication and words which my characters say to each other, and everything just emerge by itself inside my head when I'm writing. And it's mostly happen when as I said before, when I listen audio, when I listen some audio, or some music, some dark music or something like this. I just immerse into some mystical into some mystical,
Mm.
yes, some mystical things, and try to describe whenever happen inside my head, and my brain make plot itself. Yes, and
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of the same way on like how do I know when to write? It's kind of just spontaneous, just a whenever thing. Whenever I think of something, I'm like, oh, I need to write that down. That sounded really good. It's really weird for me because like for when I write, things just kind of pop in my head and I have to instantly write them down. But when I'm actually trying to write and focus on writing a book, I can't do that. I can't have stuff just pop in my head. I need to think about everything. Like, okay, the book's going to be about what? And then I just write everything down and then just go for it. So,
okay.
But Vladimir, my next question is, how long does it take you to write a book?
I don't have any real big book. I just mostly write short stories, short horror stories. Yes, as you know.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I would like to write maybe a novel or something like this, but before I shied to do it because when I started, obviously, I started doing it on my first language in Russian, Russian language, but now I also know English language, and maybe throughout foreign language for me, I would be not so shy about what they describe, or yes, and it's very strange moment, but I'm not shy to be myself when I use English language. Yes, and probably later I would write something big in English language. Yes, I hope so.
Okay. And when you say that, you said that you're Russian, which I know they don't. So kind of got you onto starting to want to write in English. What was the whole start of your English journey and writing? Was there any like authors in particular that you liked, or just what started it?
It's after 1990s when happened when Soviet Union time was over. It was very popular to translate into Russian language Hollywood movies or some serials or books or something like this, and American and British culture flooded our shelves in bookshops, and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it may yes, you don't know it because you never visited Russia, but if somebody from your listeners visited Russia and visited bookshops, maybe they notice, if they know at least some Russian words, they notice that we have many American, for example, American writers, for example, Stephen King or Lovecraft, in our bookshops in Russian language. And I remember it was 2009. It was a time after crisis, economic crisis, and I couldn't find any jobs, and I found a job like a janitor for little amount of money. And yes, and I clean snow next to one sport area, and it was too boring for me, and I wanted to amuse myself at the same time, and I had audio player and wired headphones. I didn't have wireless headphones back then. I just had wired headphones and audio player, and I downloaded some audiobooks from the internet on my audio player because internet was rubbish back then and I couldn't listen direct from the internet. And I just listened some audiobooks during my job, and I became involved more and more and more in American culture and British culture throughout books, throughout some stories which were written in English language, but then they were translated in Russian. And but I didn't know that it's English language. I just liked it. And I
Yeah.
remember I listened Carlos Castaneda. Maybe you know, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I really liked his style, how he write, and it was very high quality translation. And he is very popular in Russia, Carlos Castaneda, because it was a time when esoteric and etc. It was very popular as well, and that's why Carlos Castaneda was very popular. And I listened him, and I remember I just liked his style, and I wanted to write something myself. And back then I wanted to write something myself, and I started write like him. I wanted to write like him, but my style was rubbish, of course. And my first story, it was very naive and childish story about a boy. And as I remember, its name was Shooting for Stars or Reach the Stars. I don't know how correctly translated into English. Maybe it's about if you wish something, it's happen, and it was very very naive about maybe a little bit about power of mind, you understand? But in fantasy style, and it was my very first book. Probably it was 30 pages, and I made self-published back then, and I was very pleased myself. And after it, I tried second fantasy books and third and etc. And later, I started write horror stories because I really liked Lovecraft. Yes.
Yes. Well, thanks for sharing. I really like that, all that information. I didn't really know about American books going over to Russia and stuff, like you said. Since I'm in America, I don't really think outside of the box, if that makes sense, or the United States. So that was really interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, what is the most difficult part of writing a book for you?
Most difficult part, it's when I don't have inspiration, and I try to find this inspiration in music or in serials or in movies. And sometimes, and for me personally, I find very difficult to write conversation between characters, dialogues. Yes. And I like describe natures or buildings or actions or something like this, but for me, dialogues between characters is the most difficult parts in each story. Yes, I don't know why. Yes,
I agree, because I agree with that. I'm the same way with my writing. It's always hard to have a conversation. Yet you can have a conversation, but writing it down, it's harder, or typing it, whichever way you do it. So I understand. Next question. Did you self-publish or go through traditional publishing route, and why? Well, you had just talked about that, about your self-publishing. So do you want to add any more to that question?
I tried to find traditional way to publish my story, but it's not so easy, especially when I lived in Russia, and it wasn't so easy for
Mhm.
me because we don't have uh, such big traditional to publish some stories, and we don't have some magazines like in America 30 years ago, for example. As I know, his first stories, Lovecraft, published in some magazines with weird fictions, and
Mhm.
in Russia we don't have um, uh, such big different amount of magazines and various magazines and horror magazines with horror stories, and we don't have agency, for example, here in Great Britain, where I live now.
Mhm.
We have many um, literature agency, but it's also not so easy to publish throughout agencies because nobody wants to accept you. They just say you, please send your work via email, and probably we will get your answer. But it's usually they usually get same answer. Sorry, we read your story and you understand it. Yes, and they don't really want
Yeah.
to publish the stories, and because of it I just always made self-publish, and I made self-publish before in on, on one Russian website, a literature website, and yes, now we have more and more thing like this, like literature website, etc., because we copy it from the West. And yes, I did some self publish, but I never make money on it, or I never earn even £1 or one ruble. Yes, I never did any money on it. It just always was hobby for me, which I like, and I always invest in it myself. But yes, it's more like a hobby just now. And as I know, we have festival Fringe here in Edinburgh, as you know as well, yes, or Fringe Festival.
Yes.
Yes, and
Yep.
I know that probably if I will be lucky enough, maybe I would participate in this festival, and
That's
probably
exciting.
yes, and probably I would have a chance to show somebody my story, because I never give up, and who know, maybe one day I will publish my story in some magazines or something else, or somewhere else. Yes.
That'd be really exciting. I'm ready to read your stuff. So
Yes.
I've been ready to read your books since we became friends like 5, 6 years ago. I'm
Yes,
so
we
ready.
became friends long time ago. It's very weird because
Yep.
I don't know why I just texted you, because I thought you are a writer. Yes, you're a writer, but I thought yes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and we started speak throughout translator, but I couldn't speak
Mm-hmm.
English at all, and
Mm-mm.
I only
Nope.
yes, and I only learned it here, and yes, and we started speak since uh, since that moment when I couldn't understand any English, and it's interesting moment.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And I have really loved seeing your progress throughout the years of learning English and stuff because I can actually understand you a lot more than the very first day when we became friends because
Yes,
I was
yes,
like,
yes.
I love accents. I love learning from new people all over the world. And I saw that you were writing too. So I was like, oh, this will be perfect. I can learn some Russia. It's a little bit more difficult than English. So, but congratulations again on your journey with that. So,
Actually, for every
next
language,
question.
you need motivation to learn languages. In my situation, motivation is obvious why I want to learn English. And if you want
Yeah.
just learn language because you want to learn it, but without motivation, it's quite hard because I have experience with German language, and yes, but it's different story. But but in with English language, I really have motivation because all my favorite writers were English speaking writers, and obviously
Right.
because Hollywood, and because of Netflix, because all of it, I just really have motivation to learn it. Yes, man. And you don't need to
Yeah.
learn Russian because I hope that maybe in 5 years I will be speak like a native speaker, but I'm not sure.
That would be good.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm kind of skipping a few of the next questions because you kind of already answered them.
Okay.
So bear with me and let me find out which ones you haven't answered because I know 7 and 8 you've already completely squashed. So what important advice would you give a first-time author? Is my next question.
What's important? Sorry.
What important advice would you give a first-time author?
What is important advice? Just don't listen other people, because when I started write myself, many people who never written even one sentence always laugh at me, and they always say, "Oh, why you started writing? You never write even one story." It's always make laugh people who didn't believe in me, and if you want to make something, if you dare to make something crazy, for example, go to another country, or learn foreign language, or write some stories, or draw the pictures, or it's not important what you want to do. It's always will be people who try to laugh at you or try to stop you, and just my advice, never listen them, just listen your heart and do what you want to do. Yes.
That is perfect advice. I would back that advice up 100% because a lot of people do like downgrading others and just telling them, no, you can't do that. I feel it like it's because they just don't have anything going from them and they don't want to see someone else do better. My opinion. So next question. How important are book reviews?
Important book reviews. I can't get any answer because I never really published any books. I mean, except self-published.
But just like in your opinion, how important do you think a book review is?
And my opinion, it's important because you always can see what people think about your art, and you always can see disadvantages. Yes, disadvantages. Yes, it's appropriate word. Which you can see by yourself, which can see only people who read you. And yes, it's important for writers because they can maybe make conclusion.
Like learn. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good thought.
Yes.
Okay. So I only have 3 more questions for you because again, you've pretty much answered all of them. Next question. What is your favorite part of being a writer?
My favorite part of being a writer. It's maybe feeling that you not live on this earth not in vain, because some people make families, make children, or build the house or doing something, and it's important for them because they looking for goal in this lives, the purpose of this current lives. And when I write some stories, I just know when I will it's very sad to say when I will die, if I will have children, or I don't know. Make me feel that when I will die, and as I said before, some art, some texts, or some it's maybe important thing for every artistic person to feel that some heritage remain after him. Yes, maybe this. Yes,
I agree. Like trying to leave a little piece of you behind whenever you die, like you said. I agree with that. Next question. What makes a great story, in your opinion?
What's greatest story?
Yeah, what makes a great story?
What makes a great story? I would like to say plot, but I'm not sure, because sometimes if I would read some short Lovecraft story, for example, sometimes I find them much better than long stories, because sometimes they really captivate you, they involve you, you want to read it and read it and read it again, maybe 5 times or even more. And what important? Important maybe that moment if people put into it part of his soul, if I could say this. If he doing it with enjoy, because when people do something with enjoyment, yes, I people who contemplate his pictures or his read his story, people can feel it, because if writer just doing it like a robot, just typing and typing and typing, most of all it would be not interesting story, and most of all people will be not enjoy it. Yes, it's very important if people do something with genuine wish, with genuinely wish. Yes.
Yep, I agree with that. putting yourself into something really helps
Yes.
because that means that's you. Okay, my last question, and then we're going to wrap it up, is what's the most surprising thing you learned while writing your books?
Most surprising thing when I'm writing the books. Most surprising thing that I can write books. I can write story. That I can write story. Sorry, that I now I know that I can and I able to write more story and that my story interesting for people.
Yeah.
Because when I was a pupil in the school, I had really low score because I didn't like to learn something new, and when we learned literature, we learned Russian literature, of course. When we learned literature or we written some exam, I didn't want to do nothing. And for example, for my teachers, for my tutors, it's very surprising that I was able to written some stories and yes, and I yes, and just that I discover it inside myself. So this skill, yes, sorry, maybe yes.
Thanks. No, that's understanding. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to add before we close up this podcast?
Something just believe in yourself, do what you want to do, and maybe one day you will be successful if you really enjoy it, if you really want it. Never give up, and everything. I have doubt. Sorry, little bit doubt. Maybe not everything, but almost everything is possible if you really want it, and if even other people don't believe in you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on the podcast today and answering all my interview questions. I really appreciate this. So thank you everyone for coming and joining me and Vladimir today. Hopefully everybody has a good rest of the day, and thank you for allowing us in your life today. Have a good day.
Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye. Bye.